Thank you to my Gold Fluffbutt patron, Man City Fan, for commissioning this video. Consider donating to my Patreon page if you want to request a video too. Cheers! I Can Be Your Champion, an Equestria Girls and G5 fanfiction. Written by United States of Earth. So this MLP fanfiction is mainly centered around playing football, the sport. We have the player and team formations here, but I'm only going to read the ones that I know, like from G5 and G4, because I'm just going to skip over the ordinary teams because I'm not that interested in football. Club football? No way, I'm not getting into that kind of cancer. The following is the starting 11 for all teams. Interchanges are not listed yet. Well, that's surprising because we're just starting. Maritime Bay High Pegastars. Ooh, that's a lovely name for that football team, and I'm presuming this is the G5 one. They're in a 4-2-1-3 layout, and their colours are orange and blue. If I was to choose their team colours, I would probably choose like a light green and cyan. We have Zip Storm, who's the captain and is a right winger. She's definitely going to do a good job with that. Hitch Trailblazer is the striker. Oh yeah, that's a very appropriate position for him. Imagine those hoofs just punching that ball into the goal. Sunny Star Scout is the center attack midfield. Okay, so she's in the middle. Pip Petals is the left winger. Oh, so she's joining her sister on that position. Ah, lovely stuff. Teamwork. Izzy Moonbro is... Wait, Izzy Moonbro? You might have to change that. Izzy Moonbow is the centre back. Misty Bright Dawn is the goalkeeper. Oh, shit. No, I don't think Misty would be very suitable for a goalkeeper. She would just be out there with her hands out like... I don't want to get hit by the ball! Jazz Hooves is also a centre-back. Rocky Rift is the left-back. Wait, why isn't, like, Jazz Hooves, like, the right-back? Wait, who's the right-back? Posy Bloom is the right-back. Oh man, why couldn't you have changed that to Jazz Hooves? They could have also made a good team there. And you know, they are canon in the show, so get your facts right. And Zoom Zephyrwing and Thunderflap are the centre defence midfield. So Sunny is the attacker, and the Royal Guards are the defensive. Well, makes sense. Next team is the Crystal Prep Shadow Bolts. Oh, lovely. Well, you know, that would fit their school with the aesthetic of the spooky, spiky building. We've got their team sorted out. I recognize Indigo Zap, Lemon Zest, Sour Sweet, and Sunny Flare, and Suri Polo Mare. Oh, and Coco Pommel. I recognize those ponies from the show. They were lovely characters. Well, apart from Suri Polo Mare. So maybe this team has potential. The next team is Canterlot High Wonder Colts. Yeah, that's who I recognize now. They're in a 3-4-1-2 layout, and their colors are blue and gold. Yeah, because we have seen that kind of color like around the movies, especially in the movie with that cafeteria song when they wore those ears and tails. Rainbow Dash is the center attack midfielder, and she's the captain. Yep, makes sense again. Sunset Shimmer is the striker. Yep, I can definitely see that happening. Rarity and Applejack are the center midfield. Oh yeah, the Rarity Jack ship is coming to life. Twilight Sparkle, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie are the center backs. I can see them doing a splendid job with that too. Flash Century is the striker. Oh yeah, you gotta get the muscles up in there with the striker. And finally, Crimson, Napalm, Health Burns, and Sandalwood are the rest. I'm not associated with their characters, so I don't recognize them, but I hope they'll do fine. The next team is the Premier League state. Oh god, here we go then. We've got all the teams here. But hold on, let me just ask one question here. With all of these clubs here, is it just one professional from each of those clubs just making up the team? Because wow, those clubs must have gone through some really difficult selections. Do not try and ask me which of these clubs is my favorite, because I'm not starting a war in the comments, and besides, I don't watch this crap. And then we have two more schools which I have no recollection of. So let's just get into the fanfiction right now. Prologue. It was down to the final minute of the last main match of the high school leagues. Maritime High was on an epic charge and became the fan favourite in the final match, tied on points with their rivals from Bridlewood High. Wait, so Bridlewood is also a team in this fanfiction, huh? Oh, I wonder who would be the captain. Probably Alphabetal. I can also envision Onyx and Dapple also being on the team. And here we are, folks, both teams on final points. Maritime High Pegastars against against the Bridlewood High Pinecones. Is that what their team is called? And it's down to the final extra minute. Team captain Zipperina Storm is setting up her kick with only a few feet from goal. Will the Pegastars go home in joy or a minute whimper? Excellent narration there, commentator. You know what? You should become a real commentator out there in the real world. The commentators and the crowd bustling as the final seconds count down. On the field, Zip places the ball to the field and takes a few breaths. The left wing soon made her steps and fools the Pinecone players by passing it to her striker teammate, Hitch Trailblazer. Yeah, just pass it to Hitch. He'll score the goal in no time. But when the Pinecones try to cover the goal, Hitch passes the ball back to Zip and she boots the ball to goal, narrowly missing the goalkeeper's hands and slams the goal in. Ah, that's my girl Zip. Well done. And it's in. Zip Storm makes her move. Absolute fabulous goal. We have our winners. Maritime High are the new regional champions. Everyone thought they were out, but Maritime High has proven that they're here to stay and to win. What a performance! Yeah, apologies that I'm not energetic as before. I'm trying not to kill my throat like every single time I do with these fanfiction videos. The Maritime High Pegastars soon crowded around Zip and raised her into the air, cheering their well-deserved victory. Zip and Hitch even had a moment as they cheered, but not before blushing like tomatoes. Oh, is this writer a big fan of Stormblazer as well? Because, okay, yep, I am all in with this fanfiction. I am going to love it so much. You know what? I might as well just watch some Premier League now. It was clear from everyone except them that there was a clear connection between the two. However, due to Zip's tomboyish mentality and Hitch's devotion to rules and behavior, they clearly had no clue. Yeah, they're just totally oblivious to their romance. However, Maritime High wasn't the only school football team on the rise. Well then, I wonder who this could be. Is it another generation, I guess? Meanwhile, it was a close battle between two iconic school rivals, Crystal Prep Shadowbolts and Canterlot High Wondercolts. At the local football field next to Canterlot High, the two teams were in a penalty shootout after a long deadlock match, after many misses as their goalkeepers were at absolute top form. It was decided that the final kick will decide the game. However, on the field was the ever so iconic Rainbow Dash, Canterlot High's most revered and top athlete. So is Rainbow Dash going to get most of the spotlight in this fanfiction? Well, she better not be as egocentric as I normally hate her to be. Rainbow Dash prepares for her kick, though her teammates Sunset Shimmer and Twilight Sparkle kept calling out to Rainbow to do certain kicks, but Rainbow Dash kept her cool and went for the kick. And Rainbow Dash goes for the kick! But as Rainbow Dash charged forward, Twilight shouted at Rainbow, which made her lose her footing and kicked. Oh no, did she miss the ball? Oh, that's a shame. God damn you, Twilight. You interrupted her and it flew into the crowd. Well, I guess that would have been an awesome kick nonetheless, but yeah, you don't get the satisfaction with it not going into the goal. And it won't be a goal for the Wondercolts. For the second time in the history between these two teams, it will be a draw. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that is unsatisfying. Who wants a draw in football? That may not be the result people had in mind, but the Marshals have made their choice. It will be tie champions for the Wondercolts and the Shadowbolts. Despite the annoyance from Rainbow Dash and the crowd, the teams agreed to the tie, albeit begrudgingly. That would be typical though, like I can imagine them shaking hands like,
yeah, you did pretty well. I'll get you next time, but you have my respect.
The two teams soon join on the podium to celebrate, with the captains Indigo Zap and Rainbow Dash holding the trophy. However, some men in suits were watching the match, call their respective colleagues at the Maritime High game. Wait, are these mysterious men going to try and set up a match between G4 and G5? Now that's what I'm talking about. Do you think they have what it takes? One of them asked on the phone. They'll be perfect. They're just what the elites would enjoy competing against, especially if it's for a great cause. The talks. It had been a week since the final matches. However, on the weekend, all principals and vice principals are called to the state's Football Association Center in the city. On the drive there, all the principals wondered why a football organization would want to see them. But as soon as they arrived, and a group of suited members were waiting for them and escorted them to the center's conference room. As the principals and vice principals took their seats, the head of the SFA and his second arrived. Welcome. Sorry for the lack of information, but we thought we'd be better to explain this all in person, the head stated. Principal Celestia was the first to speak up. I'm sure there was a good reason, but may we ask why your organization wanted to see us? The second soon took over. Yes, as you know, your school's football teams have been performing exceptionally well in your respective regional leagues. You all gained our attention, the second explained. Your attention for what exactly? Principal Cadence asked. Simple. The SFA would like to invite your 3 teams to participate in a charity league to raise funds for disabled students in the state, with football becoming incredibly popular in the state following the world-class team's performance, garnering more and more attention. Oh, that's a wonderful thing to do there, raising money for disabled students and children in the area. Oh, I like these fellas. We believe the participating teams will be inspirational, and we even have a few world-class players who showed huge support to this charity league. Wait, what? Who? Such as a Porto Ronaldo FC and an AFC Manesi Live. What the hell? Don't tell me right now, is Ronaldo and Messi canon in Equestria Girls? Because, yeah, I would love to see their designs in this universe. The second explained the entire plan to the principals, whom had their expressions in full surprise. 2 massive world-class teams showing massive enthusiasm and interest in a charity league. Principal Argyle. Oh, is Argyle like the head of the Maritime High Pegastars? Ah, that's what I love to see. So Sonny's dad, Argyle, is still alive. Yes, I love it. Principal Argyle soon showed big interest and spoke up first. If this is for a great cause, then I'm certain my players would love to participate, he states with a smile. The other principals all nodded. Crystal Prep is always looking for reasons to compete, and I see that the matches will be broadcasted only on our school-based networks. Principal Cadence chimed in. Absolutely. We also have a state broadcasting network who will be providing services. This is mainly for our disabled students who don't have access to school networks, as a few of them are in hospital in intensive care. Oh man. Yeah, I do feel bad for those unfortunate souls who have to watch this game in the hospital. But you know what? As long as they're watching and people are raising money, and a few families would like to see how the participating teams perform, we will send you all forms and permission slips and contrasts to ensure we don't violate any laws. What kind of laws can you possibly break there, head? Like breaking the law for helping disabled kids? Like, how would that be illegal? That would be for the best, Vice Principal Luna states. So how many teams are joining? She asked. For this league, we only have 6 teams. This is to ensure we don't overwork the youngsters and we all understand they have lives outside of football. The second continued to explain. The principals soon heard enough and asked where to sign the contracts. The SFA passed the principals the required paperwork and they all began signing the contracts with enthusiasm. Excellent! Now, you may inform your teams about the league and we'll get in touch with the other 3 teams, the head states. Soon, the principals shook hands and began to depart. However, as they all left, the second soon turned to the head. Are you sure it's wise we didn't tell them about the elites? The second asked. Yes, they may be elite teams. However, these teams showed as much promise than them. Trust me, I'm certain the disability support organization I've been talking to will agree this is all for a good cause. The head replies before getting up from his chair and headed to his office. This sounds seemed quite fishy. Like, do they really want these school kids to go up against, like, the big Premier League players? Like, the ones who have, like, trained for all their lives and such, and they'll just easily kick those younger kids' football's asses? I don't even know what is going on anymore. At Maritime High. Okay, so we're in the G5 school, eh? The following Monday, Principal Argyle brings his football team to the assembly room, and joining them was Maritime Bay's Sheriff Staff Alpha Brittle. Alpha Brittle? There's another spelling mistake here, dude. I think you need to change that because Alpha Brittle is not brittle. Head of the local sports association. Oh, so he's... Oh, I kind of... Did I just predict that at the start? Like what they said about the Bridlewood players? I am psychic! And Queen Haven, the town treasurer and head of the Culture Association. I suppose I can see that happening, with Queen Haven all being about the throne and just wanting the best for her people and the city. Yeah, it does make sense too. Welcome everyone. I'm sure you're all still feeling the joy of winning the league last week, Principal Argyle states, and all his players cheered. Damn right we are! I could do it all again, Sip states with a smile. Siffarina! Language! Haven shouted, which made Zip groan as she hated hearing her full name. Aside from that, we've been given a great opportunity, Principal Argyle states. In a few weeks, our school and 2 others have been chosen by the State Football Association to compete in a charity league to raise money for disabled students in the whole state. He explained in detail. The players all looked at each other with smiles and excitement. They all showed huge interest and wanted more details. We've yet to know our rivals, but I've been told Canterlot High and Crystal Prep Academy will be joining the league. But the SFA is hosting a pre-league party at their centre a week before the first match, so you'll be able to meet and greet your rivals, Principal Argyle explained again. The players couldn't hold their excitement. They were bustling to compete. Yeah, those are my players. I definitely know that you're going to win this charity league. G5 all the way! Later at the beach house, which is the Star Scout residence. Oh, so is this like the Crystal Bright House? Well, I guess it wouldn't really exist. So probably this is the lighthouse. Oh, this is really interesting here. Can you believe it? We're competing in a new league, Sunny stated with a smile. Yeah, your dad really got all of us hooked, Izzy replies, which made Sunny blush a little. Oh, so is Moon Scout canon in this world as well? Oh my god, this fanfiction writer knows my stuff. I think what we should be asking is, where is Hitch? Pip asked with a smirk aimed directly at her sister, which made Sip blush and ignore the question. Oh, come on, Sip, you should know where your husband is at this point. I heard he was busy at the animal shelter. He's been there a lot ever since he found that lost puppy. What? Is that Sparky? Misty explained. I'm sure he's also excited for the upcoming league, she adds. You know, he's trying to convince his grandma to adopt the puppy. He's even already named him Sparky! Yes! Oh my god, yes! That's what I love to hear. Oh, what would Sparky look like in the Equestria Girls world? He wouldn't look the exact same as Spike with all those floppy ears. I think he would have like long, sharpy ones like a Doberman. And he's such a cute little puppy, Sunny explained and showed the girls a photo of Hitch with the adorable puppy. The girls all awed at Hitch's loving nature. Well, I can definitely say we are the champions, so let's show everyone why we deserve to be called the champions. Sip gets up with a fist in determination. The girls all cheered, and as soon as they are called by Argyle that the pizza delivery arrived for them. What? There wasn't any pizza involved? Like, why couldn't you have called me into this party? Oh, come on, I'm already hungry now. Oh boy. Okay, FLUFFBUTTS, I think I'm gonna have to end it right now on this part because I am getting a bit sweaty and it's approaching summer and I can only do so much with these fanfiction videos. I try to keep them short and contained so I don't read so much so I don't ache my throat out, so I hope you will understand. But yeah, I am definitely enjoying this fanfiction so far, and with it being like a combination of Equestria Girls and Generation 5 and Generation 4 and even the real world teams as well. This is quite fascinating to read. We've got some drama and romance tangled inside there, and oh my god, I loved it every single time. There was those little indications to the romance between Hitch and Zip and Izzy. Oh my god, this is the stuff I live for. The SFA seemed to be doing a good cause for this, with it being a charity league for the disabled students and all. I can't shake the feeling though that maybe someone is planning something malicious in this planning. Like, you can get all the good teams in here and all the best teams in the world, and maybe you can like take them all out, because this sounds something straight ripped out of like Rainbow Rocks. It wouldn't surprise me at all if those people who are in charge of the organization turned out to be the villains. But if they don't, then okay, I guess I'm just being a bit too hesitant. But anyway, yep, a very good fanfiction so far, and if the commissioner decides to commission the next part for this, I will definitely give them a read. If I had to rank what I have read so far, probably I would give it like a 7 out of 10. That's a reasonable score there. There were some spelling mistakes that I noticed in there, but I did not mention this in my reading. I think there were way too many commas in there, because there should have been some full stops in between some sentences and not commas, because I had to take breaths, so many breaths in between. You've probably seen that with some cuts that I may have made in the editing, but nonetheless, yep, I did enjoy it, and I can recommend it to anyone. So yeah, go ahead and read this story for yourselves, FLUFFBUTTS. Do let them know what you think. Thank you to the commissioner of this video, and yes, if G5 will be named the champions at the end of this story, then that's my heart just blown out the window. So FLUFFBUTTS, don't forget to hoof smash that like button down below, and comment your thoughts as well on what you thought of this fanfiction, I Can Be Your Champion, and subscribe to my channel for more stuff like this and many more content coming soon. And also, don't forget to leave a pledge on my Patreon page down in the description below, so you can help support me in making these fantastic videos more consistently. And I shall see you all very soon. Goodbye! And just before this video ends, I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on my Patreon. My Silver FLUFFBUTT patrons, Sabrina Wade and Alex Smith, and all my Gold FLUFFBUTT patrons, Drew Lazinski, Clear Heart Apple, Jonathan Chapper, Darthsiler22, Owen Wildish, Stephen Cram, The Bluish Pony, and KikiBat VA. All of your love and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.